Chapter 19. Push your wheelbarrow upside down. A visitor to a mental hospital saw an inmate pushing a wheelbarrow upside down. When he asked the inmate why, the inmate replied, "You don't think I'm crazy, do you? I pushed this wheelbarrow right side up yesterday and they kept filling it with gravel." On the basis of his reply, I think the inmate should be released and a lot of us put in his place. Too many people, with the best of intentions, go around pushing their wheelbarrows right side up and permit almost anybody and everybody to dump their unwanted odd jobs, problems, worries and grievances into them. So they end up pushing the burdens of everybody else's gravel. As you push your wheelbarrow through life, you'll find many people who will gladly put their burdens in your wheelbarrow. I suggest you push your wheelbarrow upside down. Be like the man who wrote God a letter and resigned as manager of the universe. Or as janitor. He really didn't have to resign because he never was appointed. Nor was I. Nor were you. He took the vast problems of humanity and heaped them in his wheelbarrow. Then he pushed his burden around with him wherever he went. He was unqualified, incapable and in no position whatever to solve these vast problems. Nor am I. Nor are you. And when other people saw that here was a man going around collecting problems, they added their problems to his load. And he added quite a few of his own. Eventually his burden grew too heavy to bear. Both he and his wheelbarrow were about to break down when he finally showed at least as much sense as the patient in the mental institution. He turned his wheelbarrow upside down. And he got instant relief from the useless pressure of burdens which were not even his. This is not a plea for indifference to the problems of others if your personal involvement can help. This is a plea for selectivity. You cannot solve all the world's problems. So why worry about them? Nobody elected me President of the United States, yet too often I find that I have assumed the burdens of the presidency. I worry about what the president should do about this and what about that. Why? Why should I assume the worries and burdens of a job I don't want, wouldn't have, and couldn't get? Yet I worry as much about what the president ought to do as he does. So I am turning my wheelbarrow upside down. I read the daily newspapers as if they were commands from above. I am deeply concerned about numerous situations and carefully try to decide what should be done about them. Yet none of these situations directly affects me. Most are in distant parts of the world, places I have never been and never expect to visit. But I am solving their problems, even though no one has ever asked me, in my entire life, what my solutions would be. So I am turning my wheelbarrow upside down. I have been asked to serve as chairman of various charity campaigns. I may have some qualifications for that role, but I have a neighbor across the street who is a true expert in that field. He was a senior executive at a large corporation and devoted his spare time and great talent to charity fund drives, which he conducted with remarkable success. Then he retired to dedicate himself full-time to charity. So if I am asked to lead a charity campaign, I will rightly put the job in his wheelbarrow, which is perfectly suited for such a load. This is not indifference on my part, but selectivity. Mrs. KOPMEYER and I have established the M.R. KOPMEYER Foundation, into which a substantial part of our estate will eventually be directed. It is a perpetual trust fund, the income of which will be devoted to the care and cure of crippled children for generations to come. This is what we have chosen to put in our wheelbarrow. The point is, to be effective, you must be selective in choosing the responsibilities you will accept. If you push your wheelbarrow through life right side up, people will throw their problems, worries, unwanted tasks and responsibilities into it until you find yourself overburdened to the breaking point. And if, in addition, you, yourself, add world, national and general problems which are not your specific responsibility to solve, you surely will break under the load. So turn your wheelbarrow upside down until you choose what you want its contents to be. Then your load, no matter how heavy, will seem light and will be a joy instead of a burden. And you will have found a better, a happier way of life.